Now, sometimes you would think maybe this is a crossbreed fabric, but we can kind of take a look at, we'll try to pull this apart slightly at the corner. You'll see that there are lots of little microfibers that come off here. So I don't know if you can see, maybe you can pull out a KN95 mask that you have, but when these pull apart, you'll see that there are a lot of microfibers here. So if they have these microfibers, it's probably a melt-blown fabric, because these melt-blown fabrics are made like cotton candy. So all these little fibers are getting blown out and onto a shield. So if you see here, you see all these microfibers. I don't know if you can see it in the video, I'm sorry, but all these little fibers is what catches the small micron particles. Another special thing about Meltblown is that these fibers are very close knit, but all of these fabrics should also have an electric charge to it. So to test for electric charge is quite simple. Again, we're gonna take out a pair of scissors and we're gonna cut this. Let's cut a couple pieces out. The tiny threads, they all mingle together and they create this nice web. Now this catches some of the small particles, and at the end, to hold the particles there, there's actually a static charge to all melt-blown fabric. So if it doesn't have the charge, it's probably not well done. So how do we see if there's charge to it? Hey, let's put these all together and look, they should stick together. You can see that it's statically charged. If you see this, if you kind of pull this, you see how it's stuck together? You see how these are all stuck together? So melt-blown fabric, after it gets blown onto a board, it goes through a charging cycle that charges this, so that when the small particles come on, they're stuck there by static electricity. So let's take a look at this one here. So this one here, I'm sure it's melt-blown. It's got that nice pattern here, no pattern here. And let's cut a couple pieces and see if they stick together. Yep, see that static charge? There. Well, while we're at it, let's take a look at this one. Even though the quality of this melt-blown, I wouldn't agree with, just because it's extremely thin. This is extremely flimsy, but it should still have a charge to it. So it's still sticking together nicely. And we put all the brands together. They all kind of cling on to each other. Okay, so while I cannot tell you that any of these masks will filter 95%, I can kind of show you the quality of the melt-blown fabric that is used. I'm guessing that a high-quality melt-blown fabric will filter more than a not-so-quality one. So next time, if you have a KN at home, if you have an mask at N95 or KN95, try taking one apart and kind of see this filter melt-blown layer to see the quality. If it's a good quality fabric, it shouldn't pull apart. It'll take some strength, 1, 2, 3, to break apart. Not so quality breaks apart kind of right away, easily. For the most part, these well-made melt-blown fabrics are made in a large factory. Some of the lower quality ones made in maybe a newer, not so good factory. Filtration rates might vary. So yeah, make sure, I think anything, wearing a mask is better than not wearing a mask. But sometimes looking at the quality of it will give you an idea of whether or not the mask will filter more or less. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and stay safe, everyone.